a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. Can't be Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. Can't be Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, Kimmy Kim.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click menu, then contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
Has anyone ever told you that you were a Have they told you how valuable you really are? He gave you the moon, the stars, the sun. He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the ring. He told you that you were his queen and that you two would never part. How many other women has he said that to? And then he broke your heart. And then he broke Girl, I can't let you stay in this place. But that was so long ago. Can I tell you you're blessed? You have to remind yourself. Come on, say it with me. I'm more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so You have to remind yourself. Come on, say it with me. I'm more than a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. 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 Girl, you don't let your light shine. Can I tell you that you are vibrant, creative, you're blessed, extraordinary in all your ways. Much more. Let your light shine. Your words. Girl, you're so beautiful. 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 Girl, you are so beautiful. He gave you the moon, the stars, the sun. He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the ring.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Hey, 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 hey. Thank you. You're too much. You're just too much. Yes. Yes, it's your main man, David Benton, and I am in the building. Shout out to the Elation family. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. And welcome right here to Beyond the Radio. We appreciate you. We love you. And we have an exciting show for you tonight. Yes, we do. We have an exciting show for you tonight. And you know I'm smiling. I'm in the building. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Despite what we go through, sometimes you just got to smile through it. Yes, you do. So we just going to get straight to it because we got a great show tonight. We went in last week. We went in. Oh, yeah, and that song you heard, that was beautiful by the infamous. Drum roll, please. Shay Samuels, are you in the building?
Shay Samuels is in the building. Yes, I is. Not yes, I am. Yes, I is. And I'm smiling.
That was your song, Shay. That was your song from your EP last year. Yep, that was your song from your EP last year. I Choose to Worship. I know, the I Choose to Worship EP. And I was telling that song was called Beautiful by You. Shay, let's talk about that song, Beautiful. Before we go any further, are you smiling, Shay?
I'm smiling. I said that. I said, I'm smiling, David Benton. I'm smiling.
Okay. Yeah, you did say that. My bad. Because I was thinking about other people. Because if y'all not smiling, you know to get off the line. That's right. If you ain't smiling, matter of fact, smiling. If you ain't smiling, see, smiling, like smiling and smiling are two different things. So if you ain't smiling, get off the line. That's right.
Well, I better start
smiling. That's right. But talk to us about that song, Beautiful, Shay.
Beautiful. It's funny because as the saying, I was thinking about when I first started singing that song, I used to sing it to my granddaughter, and I was reminding her of how beautiful she was. And so, as sisters, we always have, you find that there's more negative to say about one another than it is positive. And a lot of my purpose is to just bring sisters together, to celebrate sisters. And so I wanted to create a song that did just that. So when sisters got together, they would remind each other or be reminded that they were beautiful. But the song itself derived from my mother. Yes. So the song derived from my mother, who was a victim of domestic violence. And I had so many friends, and I myself was a victim of domestic violence at the age of 16. And, there are scars that are on the inside of us that people don't really see. And so you can think of something, and people are dying every day to domestic violence. The death rate for domestic violence is on the rise. So this song really kind of started off with, he gave you the moon, the stars, the sun. He gave you everything. He gave you the pearls, the fur, the diamond necklace, and the rings. He told you that you were his queen and that you two would never part, and then he broke your heart. And so I'm reminding whoever has gone through that to remember that regardless of what you've been through, you have to remind yourself that you are more than a conqueror. And I just remind everyone in that has experienced that they are beautiful as well.
That is awesome. That is very awesome. And even though I know that, it's just awesome when you say it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's like you add more sunshine, more depth to it. And it's like, oh, I forgot I already know that. You know what I'm saying? So that is a beautiful thing. But
what I love about it, David.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I was about to give you. No, go ahead, Shay. You was on the road.
I was going to say what I love about it.
You was on the road.
The song doesn't stop with just domestic violence. There were women who had been diagnosed with cancer, had to cut their hair off, and they were using this song as an opportunity to remind themselves of that as well. So although I met it for one thing, it just started taking off. I mean, it really started taking off. And then there were men that we were able to utilize to remind other, their wives of how beautiful they are. So the song really just took off on different levels. And so I feel blessed because of that.
I'm going to make me a song called Beautiful for Men and tell them, look, man, I know you ain't got old and your belly done got a little big, but brother, you still, I don't know if I want to call them beautiful, though. I don't know if I would say, you beautiful, brother? Beautiful. I don't know. That's not masculine enough. I think I would say you're still real cool, something like that, Man, I don't think I want to call a brother beautiful. Like, yeah, it's kind of feminine. Oh, I take that back. I'm going to have to think, Shay. We're going to have to think of something.
You just have to be handsome. You can be like, bro, you are so handsome.
Oh,
handsome,
no, Shay, no.
handsome.
No, I'm not telling another brother you're handsome. Oh, you done made me gay, Shay. No.
David.
And I have no problem with gay people. I'm just saying I'm not that way. Y'all know if
all right, we're just going to go ahead and get with the show.
I probably have to get
Women, you
are
fight. Beautiful. Men, you are handsome in every way.
I'll let you say that, Shay. I'll let you make a song called Man, You Are So Handsome. I'll be like, what she said, man. Believe in yourself, brother. Believe in yourself.
Right.
And just pump my fist. That's right. That's right. But I will say this. I tell them brothers, I make you know what? G Will is going to be doing a remix to Brand New. So I tell them brothers, just what G Will told everybody. And I tell them brothers, brother, you're brand new. That's right. Feel brand new despite what you're going through, because G Will is going to actually do the remix to his single that he brought out last year, Brand New. He's going to do the remix, and we actually have an opportunity to be on the remix. So, Shay, are you going to sing or rap on the remix?
I don't know if I'm going to pull Coach Shay out or if I'm going to be Shay Sam's on it. I just have to hear the vibe and hear the track.
All right, we'll see. And also, if you guys haven't heard G Will's song, Lord I, it is on all digital platforms. Go check it out. It is an amazing song. Shout out to G Will. Shout out to G Will for his love, his diligence. Yeah, he got an awesome work ethic. And if you're trying to lose weight, I'm telling y'all, holler at G Will. You can go on his Facebook page. His name is William Faulkner. Faulkner is F-A. I'm going to have to spell it because Faulkner is very hard to spell, and you need a translator for Faulkner. So I'm going to spell it for you. Faulkner. That's right. Because Faulkner, you can lose in the spell to be trying to spell Faulkner. Because there's a lot of ways, you sound like you can put a W in it. Because we don't say Faulk. We don't put the L in it. We put a W in, like Faulkner. You know how we be talking, Jay. So I'm just saying, holler at William Faulkner, a.k.a. G Will, a.k.a. DJ G Will, if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to get a nice DJ. That's right.
Yes.
So that kind of sound like you on a promotion. I did.
You're doing a great job. You hear I'm not even going to take over because you're doing a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. Shout out to G Will. Shout out to you, David Benton. Shout out to you. You give everybody else their props. So I'm going to just say shout out to you. You put out an amazing video today about responsibility, and I had a chance to look at that. If you guys have not seen that video yet, it will be on the Beyond the Radio page as well. Yes, amazing video.
You're too kind.
And I have to say this, though, because if you do a video, that means that something really, really, really happened, especially on YouTube. So talk to us about the video, David. What sparked it?
Well, I had seen on the video that it was a father and son, and they had got into a gunfight. And the son was like 27 years old. got mad at his dad, and started shooting at the dad. And the dad, had to, get his gun to protect himself. And the shots, it was like multiple rounds fired. But the dad did not want to actually shoot his son, so he got to the son. He really could have really hurt him. But he shot past him because he didn't really want to, really damage his, kill his son. So he shot past him. But he really just shooting back so his son could stop shooting at him, basically. The father ended up calling the police. They took the son in because they said, well, you came on the father's property and, attempted to kill your father. So it's just one of those things, like, it's so sad how, our children, we can enable them for so long, and it actually could become a crutch. And when you really want them to be more responsible and out of love, because you care for them, and we're not going to always be here in the flesh, our spirits will live on, our memories will live on, and our legacy will live on, depending on who you are. But you know what? Eventually, our flesh got to go. And we all have that expiring date. And we want to leave something. And we want our kids to be all right, all of our children to be okay. So when we are really trying to help them and help them to be more responsible, they take it as something else. And they feel that we're cutting them off instead of helping them grow and develop, because we're preparing them for the future. And they may not get it. And, they feel, they're entitled. And our kids are turning against us, and I had my own son. I got a song about it. It's going to come out. Y'all hear it eventually. And, I had an episode with one of my sons, and he's spoiled. He's spoiled. And when it's time for him to be responsible, he got mad at me because I wanted him to know that, it wasn't about the materialistic things that I could offer you. I want to be able to show you how to get your own materialistic things if that's what you desire to have. And also, I want you to understand that I love you in our relationship on how I feel about you and how I really adore who you are as a person rather than what I can do for you. And that's what I want our kids to know, So it's like the father is very important. The father has really been stripped from the home, and we have to raise our children the proper way. As a dad, they really need their dads in the home. So, so it was just on my heart to really talk about that. I'd rather speak blessings over people's lives than curses.
Yeah, And it seems to be a trend, to be honest with you. It seems to be a trend because we were just talking last week about Kirk Franklin's son doing things like that. And, especially in our culture, you have kind of made me more aware of how, it's designed for our fathers to be pulled out the household. And so so I thank you for teaching me a lot and making me more aware and opening my eyes to the fact that is, and then, just seeing what was going on with Kirk Franklin and his son, and also what you spoke about today. I was amazed at the fact that we hear about the killing and we see people putting up candles and those the candlelight. I can't think of the word, vigils, I think it is, and just the rememberings, the RIP shirts, and here you have a father and son doing it, and so. It's becoming a trend, but I want to thank you for making me more aware of why these type of things happen. So, and it's even more exciting for the topic tonight as well.
Yes, and speaking of that Kirk Franklin incident, we did talk about that last week, and we was talking about when Kirk Franklin got upset and used profanity against his son. What we have to realize is Kirk Franklin's son was not an infant. He was not 12 years old. We're talking about a 30-plus-year-old adult. So it can get to a point to where we all can lose our cool and say some things that we wouldn't want to say, but we say them. So last week when we discussed curses versus profanity, we really broke it down. And I hope some of you guys went back and really who tuned in. Hope you did your research. And I do want people to know that we're not saying, we're saying, okay, Kirk, use that type of language every 5 minutes. Just say it, Kirk. We root for you. No. We're not saying that. What we're saying is we want people to start being more mature about how we handle situations. We want people to understand, like when I say the maturity level, say, queens, men and women of God, the maturity is important because, see, when Kirk Franklin used that type of language that was not cursing, but it was profanity, I'm mature enough to understand that Kirk Franklin is a person first. He's a person who I don't worship. So when I can understand he's a person, it allows me, by the Spirit of God really within me, to understand. So when you have the Holy Spirit in you for real, then you can understand, you can empathize. Because we all fall short from the glory of God. And when I mean we all fall short from the glory of God, we'll never live up to the expectations of Jesus himself. When you read the scriptures, none of us will ever amount to that. None of us. So you have Jesus himself, who got crucified, was found guilty of sin, of blasphemy. But guess what? Sin wasn't against God. His sin came from the minds of man. So they said, crucify him. And we're talking about the Son of God. So guess what? Us as people, we love to crucify other people. Well, we should be more empathizing who they are as people. Like, it didn't say, when I just mentioned like we all fall short. It didn't say some fall short. It said we all fall short.
Yes.
Meaning that none of us is exempt. Watch this. None of us is exempt from making everybody or some disagree with our behavior. Because at some point, we're not going to agree with everybody's behavior. None of us. None of us. Because we're all human beings, all see the world from our own lenses. See? We all see the world from our own lenses. And the thing is, some of us agree with, some of us have lenses that the way we see the world, similarities, but none of us agree with everything that each other do. So we always going to disapprove with one another. So I just want people to be mature. When it comes to people acting out in a certain way, let's be there for them to motivate them. Be there for them. And where Kirk used profanity, not a curse, but he used profanity against his son, well, it's up to us to now give him a blessing, to encourage him, because he needs us. I'm pretty sure he's not happy about it because he got put on blast on YouTube. So I'm pretty sure he's not like, yeah, that's right. I did it. That's right. Turning cartwheels, break dancing. I know he ain't hype about it. I'm pretty sure he got his head down like, oh, man, I wish I would have lost my temper. Man, I shouldn't have lost my temper. So if he's feeling like that, why would we throw hot coals in that fire? Why, Shay? You have seen the
I don't know.
Shay?
Do
you want to expand on this, Shay?
Yeah, I think, you hit the nail on the head, David. First and foremost, we've become a very judgmental people, and it's unfortunate. I think if we open our eyes up clearly to see that every trend has a target, right? And what I mean by that is whenever the media wants you to see what it needs to see or what they think you need to see in order to change your thinking, they're going to show much of it. Sometimes it can be a disguise for something else. Sometimes it can be a market or a target for something. We just kind of talked about this on our business call on Thursday, where it's saying, well, Easter's about to come up, so you're going to see commercials about Easter. Tax season's up, you're going to see commercials of taxes. And so the media is giving you what you need to see, but what it also needs to sell you, right? And so we become judgmental. One person, two people, three people sitting in the room could see the same thing, and each person hear it differently and see it differently. How many times have you watched a movie and you might have picked up on something, I might have picked up on something, G. Will could pick up on something, his wife can pick up on something, but we all watch the same movie. And what we may pick up on, here's something that you told me, and I had to laugh at myself because I get wrapped up in them. And I don't mean wrapped up in a way where it's like that's what I want my life to be, but I get wrapped up to the point where like I don't like that guy in the movie, and you say, well, you do know it's an actor, right? And you said you got to remember they're playing a part, right? You got to remember that they are playing a part. And so it's all in how we see things, but we become a very judgmental group of people, and we're judgmental because that's what the world puts in our hands. We keep saying, as a body of believers or Christians, listen, I don't want to be like the world, but then everything that we do or everything that's said or every act that is made is of the world. If you are judging someone, it's of the world. If you are speaking negatively about someone, it's of the world. If you are speaking curses and not blessings, that is of the world. If you have to second guess a person's lifestyle because it doesn't match up with yours, that is of the world.
Yes.
But then the bigger question, David, is why is it being so scrutinized now? When we start to look at the bigger picture of why now is it becoming more evident that, quote, unquote, Christians are cursing? Another one came out, a motivational speaker or a Christian motivational speaker came out cheating on his wife. Why is it being put into our eyes and our ears now so much more frequently? And why is it showing us that for everything that was spoken that's supposed to be blessing is turning into us cursing one another?
That is really a great point. That is. Shay, you want to keep going? I don't want to come behind that. I'd rather go like to a commercial, but you ain't going to have me. Okay, you preaching tonight. You preaching tonight. You think you trying to set me up? You think I'm going to sit up there and try to come behind you? You think I'm going to come behind you after all that?
No,
hey, you must be kidding. You must be kidding. You going to get Kirk Franklin.
Oh, goodness. Well, it does baffle me a lot because, I hear people who do say, well, I am a Christian, I'm a believer, or, I follow the word of God, or I follow the things of God. And then there's a pick and choose. They pick and choose what they want to follow. Some people might be troubled in their minds. I've heard people say, a lot of my friends, they was like, I don't want to be on social media. And I would say, why? And they'd be like, there's too much trouble on there. And the Bible tells me to watch what my eyes see and to watch what my ears hear, right? And then I'm thinking to myself, we really have control over that. I remember when I first got on social media, and I was afraid because of everything I used to hear, right? I used to hear people say social media is just trouble. And so when I first got on, it was exciting because I met a lot of my friends that I used to go to school with. I reconnected with a lot of different family members. And then I started scrolling through and I would say, what the heck are these people talking about? I mean, I couldn't believe that, you know, I almost had to block my brother. But here's what I identify with, David, and everyone listening. I had the power to release those people from my page.
Yes.
I had the power to release.
Shay, it's that time. Yeah, I know you crunk, but it's past time. And when we come back, we are going to finish. We're going to finish because we're going to go to our music break. And we're going to come back with our sponsors. And, Shay, you're going to have to finish because you are on the road. But it's time for some music, Shay.
All right.
So,
where the music at?
Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at?
gotta say a prayer for my friend. Called me up the other morning, 4 a.m. Said he's going through some things in his life, having it hard and hadn't slept in several nights. And he's calling me to help him on his way. If I didn't mind, could I stay on the phone and pray? So I walk into the living room, and Lord, this is what I said to you, 'cause you're the only way. Down and bring peace with it. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, I raise this up to you, and only you can bring the favor down and bring peace with it. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down, Lord, yeah. Got to work so tired, could barely hold my eyes. Then my boss, he called me in the office by surprise. To myself, oh Lord, I put this in your hands. And with fear, I went to him, said, here I am. He said, close the door, I know that you're a praying man. My heart is heavy and I'm in need of counseling. I think I'm about to lose the love of my life. The doctor says she's ill, but I can't lose my wife. Favor down and bring peace with. And so I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, I raise this up to you, and only you can bring favor down and bring peace with. And so I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down, Lord, yeah. Right in my car, don't want my wife to see me cry. Tears feel like they do when I drive by. But I got so much of a burden on my soul, trying to be a light even when these folks will treat me cold. My mind is troubled and I feel I'm getting weak. Now that I'm down, I need someone to pray for me. Lord, I'm calling, there's no water, put my bag again. I need the strength so I can rise and take a stand again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Favor down and bring peace with me. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, I raise this up to you, and only you can bring the favor down and bring peace with me. So I place my trust in you. So pour your blessings down, pour your blessings down. Lord, yeah. Lord, you're always there for me.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building. Welcome back to Beyond the Radio with your host, your main man, David Benton, and I am your co-host, Shay Samuels. Welcome back. If you missed the first half, you are in for a treat on this second half. Yes. But we are first going to give a shout out to our sponsors. Our first sponsor, as always, shout out to Paula G. Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight. You guys heard that amazing commercial at the beginning. That's a voiceover. Do you want your radio station to sound like that? Do you want your commercials to sound that professional? Do you have in sponsorships that you want to sound just like that? Well, I encourage you to reach out to Paula G. Voice. Listen, this lady has an amazing, amazing, amazing voice that just soothes anybody that's listening. So you want your station and your commercials to sound just like what you hear on Beyond the Radio? Reach out to her at paulagvoice.com or www.paulagvoice.com. Visit her website. Let her know that Beyond the Fence sent you. Next up, we have Palmer House in Atlanta, Georgia. If you are here in the Atlanta, Georgia area or surrounding area, or if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta, Georgia, Palmer House, Miss Kiki, now Crowder, who was just married last weekend. Congratulations once again. Kiki Crowder is an amazing real estate agent and notary. We want you guys to look her up when you come here. All the information will be found on Beyond the Radio. You'll have to go there to get it. And shout out to Kiki and her new husband again on their new nuptials. Last but not least, can I get a drum roll, David? I love it. Let's Talk Business Consulting, Strategy, and Coaching Group, LLC. That's right, Beyond the Fence family. We have expanded, and we are so happy for this expansion. This expansion has allowed so many business owners to just see their vision come to life. Again, I love how David says that we have a 100% success rate. We are getting calls every day of businesses that want to strategize. They need some new ideas, some out-of-the-box thinking. We are working with a major corporation right now. Please go ahead and go to the Facebook page at Let's Talk Business Consulting Group. Also on the Instagram page at it's LTB Consulting Group, where you will see all of what we have going on, the clients that we're working with, how we run about just to make sure that your vision comes to life. So if that's you, you are a business owner and you need to re-strategize or looking for some new strategies. If you are a corporation and you're looking for some customer service training, let's talk business. You can reach out to us at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. Back to you, David.
Yes, well, we're going to continue. Actually, Shay, you was really bringing up some great points because we are, we do want to separate what we call curses and profanity versus profanity. And like I said about Kirk Franklin, and the reason why we want to reiterate, because we want people to understand that we're not saying that it's cool to use these certain words, and to some people it may be offensive, to some it may not. But the moral of the story is we want you to start being more mature. Be more mature in your thinking. And that's what it's about. I want to go on with what I mean about cursing versus profanity, and why I say cursing and profanity are two different things. Because if you, it's right there in the Bible where it say Proverbs 18:21. Matter of fact, it say when it comes to our tongue, right? One verse say, matter of fact, in the Bible say life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? But then they say when it comes to that, it said they can bring you joy or cause misery. Say the tongue has the power of life and death. This is Proverbs 18:21. It says the tongue has the power of life and death. And what it means is the stakes are high. Your words can either speak life or words can speak death. Our tongues can build others up or they can tear them down. An unchecked fire doubles in size every minute. An unchecked fire doubles in size every minute. So with our mouth, we can say curses, we can speak blessings. You can actually say something positive, but it may have profanity in it. That doesn't mean that the profanity is sinful towards God. These are man-made words, and the English language is the last language invented. That's all I want people to realize. So when you start being more mature in your thinking, then when people do use these profanity words, and I'm just speaking this because people have ridiculed Kirk Franklin. The brother makes good music. You jam to his music. You play his music at your weddings, your concerts. You go to his concert. You play it at home, in your car. And guess what? You made a joyful noise. It made you feel good when you listen to the man's music. That's what's important. He did what human beings do. And sometimes we get out of control and we do things that we may regret. Now, to be honest, I don't think he regret letting his son have it. I don't think he regret that. What I do think, I believe that he regret being put on blast, not because he's embarrassed, more because he don't want to disappoint people that believe in him. That's it. He don't want to disappoint people that expect him not to be human, because he got to be the best man of God he can be, because he don't want to disappoint people. That's love, to be honest. He did what a lot of us do. We let our kids have it, and that's just the reality. So, life and death is in the power of the tongue. When we speak blessings and we speak curses, when we talk bad about other people and we're telling people how they're not good enough, or tell people they're never going to amount to anything, that is the curse. You might not use profanity in it, but you're still cursing somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we have to start understanding. Like, we'll sit up here and tell, we'll make people feel inadequate. We'll make them feel that they're less valuable to represent God's kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And when we make them feel that way, they lose that faith within themselves to continue to go forward. And then that's how you get the church hurt. See? And people don't continue to go because they feel that they're not valuable enough. They feel that, well, that's why they say, man, once I get myself together, then I'm going to come to church. Because that's what we made people think. We make them feel that, well, you got to get yourself together before you come in here. Don't y'all understand that's cursing the minds of people? That's keeping the people away instead of being that's supposed to be their place of refuge. But it has become a place of discomfort. And then we'll take the scripture. Well, the Bible said, I come to separate the mother from daughter. I come to bring fire to the. No, that is God's job, not yours. If you're causing destruction, then you're a problem, not an asset. You're not an asset no more. You have become the problem. And when you become the problem, that's a part of the curse. You're doing more of the devil's work than God's work, unconsciously. Because now you're keeping people out of the house that's supposed to help them get to eternal life, to help them become a better person. But if you're making them feel inadequate, you're making them feel they're good enough, then you're doing exactly what the enemy wants you to do. You're putting curses on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, you want to expand on it?
I appreciate what you said regarding and first of all, we have the same scripture, so I was like, wow, we couldn't have planned that any better. But the Bible also talks in Ephesians about not allowing any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, right? And so that everything that we should be speaking should be bearing fruit. And so when you were talking just a second ago, even about just the way that we see the words that are profane, the words profane, You can look that up for me, David. I'm sorry, because if I do, I'm going to stop talking. But profane. But here's the thing. Our reality, again, it goes back to truth, right? Once you can identify with what truth is, regardless of if you like it or not, like people smoke. I'm not a smoker, but I'm not going to not like someone because they do smoke. I'm not going to turn my nose down because they smoke and I don't. Someone who gambles, I'm not a gambler, but because someone else does, I'm not going to look at them any differently because that is their choice of life. I can't put my value on someone else because this is how I choose to live my life in comparison to how they choose their life. I would not look down at a person. David, I'm going to go back to when I first became a believer, and I shared this with a number of people, and they were really taken back by it, and I couldn't understand why. But I had friends that were Muslim. I had friends that were Seventh-day Adventists. I had friends who were Sabbath keepers. I had friends who were Buddhists. And I promise you, we were able to share one another's beliefs without judgment. And we all taught one another something. But then you have the radical Christian who would say, I can't sit amongst you because you don't believe the way that I believe. I can't sit across from you because you don't believe the way I believe. And here's the reality, what you just said about rejection. It draws people further away. Do you get what I'm saying? It draws people further away. That in itself is a curse.
Yes. And you know what, Shay? I wanna. You said something real powerful. Like, you don't have people like you said, and I see this all the time, and I've heard it so many times. And I'm pretty sure you have too, because you just said it. How people were like, well, I can't be with those type of people because they don't believe the way I believe. But watch this. That means whoever is a Christian, that means you got to quit your job because there's people in there who don't believe like you believe. That means you can't get along with nobody. And watch this. If it was like that, if it was so much like that, there would not be so much confusion in the body itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have people, see, that makes you put yourself in a lose-lose situation because it should be more about character versus your belief. It should be more based on character versus your belief. People believe different. The problem with us being so immature is we have to understand it's okay to be different. I'm going to repeat this, men and women of God, kings and queens. It is okay to be different because we have chaos when people believe like you. But here's the problem. It's not the point. What we have to realize, just because a person, y'all both accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, y'all still going to have differences.
And we know that because it's happening right in the church.
It happens right in the church every day.
Yeah.
So when are we going to fix us? See, now it's time to fix us and stop pointing the finger. People are going to be people. Now it's time for you to elevate your thinking, to start being more mature and accept that we are all different and see the world through our own lenses. We all looking at the world through different lenses. And it's okay. It's okay. We actually get mad at someone else because they don't believe the way you believe. Now, we could both believe in Christ, but then we're going to have differences on something else. In that case, it wouldn't be over 1,000 different Christian sects.
Yeah.
It's thousands.
That was what I was going to say too, David, that there are thousands. I remember when I was first looking just to kind of get an understanding of the beginning of church. and just the religion as a whole. And I Googled, and about more than over 1,000 came up, and that was just in the Christian body. And I started saying to myself, no wonder we're so divided. And there's so many different versions of the Bible that we can read. And what I love about it is, again, I can use it for good because there's something that speaks directly to me when I am reading it. And this is the point that I would like to make, that in those differences that you're talking about, David, there's an opportunity for you to teach someone wholeheartedly what you believe and why, right? If you were going to a grocery store and you wanted that person that you're talking to know about that grocery store, you're going to speak positively about that thing. If you were to curse that grocery store, that nail salon, if you were to curse that barbershop that you go to, where you go shopping, nobody's ever going to want to go there, right? Because all they've heard is you curse it. You hear what I'm saying? And so nobody's going to want to do or believe in the way that you act because all they see is negativity. The other example I want to give before we go, is a football team, a basketball team, any type of team. They all go out with the same uniform. But here's the reality. They all play a different part. And at the end of the day, the number one goal is to win. The number one goal is to win, but each person plays a different part. When we get out of the traditional, this is what church needs to look like, rather than this is what the body should look like right now. Every person plays a part to get the job done. And you said that today in your video as well, David, but every person plays a part. And I love using the football, although I don't know a lot about it. I just know as a basketball player, we all got out there with the same uniforms. But there were different positions that we all played. And when we played those positions, it equaled one thing. One, we had to work together. There were some people shorter. You know, some people who are shorter can't go into people's positions that are taller. Everyone plays a part. It doesn't mean that because I'm not the same, I'm not a point guard and you're not a point guard, doesn't mean that we can't be friends. It means that you're positioned where you are and you do what you do for the greater good of the team. So once people get a chance to see that, then I think we would be better off. It's 10:58, so I'm going to leave it up to you, David, to close it out.
All right, I do want to say this before we close. It is over 200 Christian denominations in the U.S. and a staggering 45,000 globally. I'm going to repeat that. Estimations show there are more than 200 Christian denominations in the U.S. and a staggering 45,000 denominations globally. I'm saying this because they believe the same but believe different. That is what we have. So y'all, let's just start maturing. Let's start showing more love, more gratitude, and more empathy. Let's just choose to love one another. Let's just choose to love one another. Love yourself and love others and accept that we are all different. And when you do that, you're going to be able to sleep better at night. And then you won't be cursing anyone. You may not use profanity, but you definitely will be cursing. And with that being said, please follow us on Facebook at Beyond the Radio. Follow us Beyond the Fence on Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, follow William Faulkner, David Benton, Shay Samuels, and please go to the Elation Magazine page on Facebook. Go to Elation Radio. And look, let's have a good time, and let's just come together and unify our minds in loving and let's respect. And with that being said, come tune back in with us. Not next week, but the week after, because next week is Resurrection Sunday. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks. We love you, and we out. And with that being said, for the music, for the music, for the music. It's your boy David Benton. Some people, they be like, yo, I just have a wish for my birthday. Or you know, they would say I had 3 wishes. I wish for so much more for you. I wish for so much more. What I wish for is that we live more. In the inner city, living ain't so piss poor. Realize we hypnotized by the discord. We blow money fast. What you think we rent for? Yeah, did it big. My kids wish I could have did more. Wish women would be women and men would be men. Or there was no child abuse or domestic violence. In the streets really moved in the act of silence. Wish the Catholic priest wasn't pedifying. In the government officials would tell the truth instead of lying. I'm born a lion. My daddy name is David Lyons. Wish we could do more laughing instead of crying. Wish we wasn't afraid of giants. Wish we could all be inspired by David and Goliath. Wish society wouldn't pacify us. Make us ride, turn back around and buy it, gentrify it.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I keep my hands raised high when there ain't nothing left. Try to stay focused on the Lord above. With all the things going on in this world, that's where my help comes from. I wish that the world wasn't corrupt. I wish that we're united, spread love. I wish I know that Jesus is enough. Got my mind on my mission, G.O.D. That's what's up.
Yeah, I wish we all get our credit straight. Wish that single mother didn't have to wait for Section 8. I wish we all would investigate why the world is crooked and we can't set it straight. Yeah. God is not the author of confusion, so ask yourself, why there's so much confusion? With some husbands wasn't so abusive, wifey putting makeup on to cover up all the bruises. All we do is make excuses about the chains, the pains, and all the nooses. I wish religion wasn't so polluted. This is all facts you can't dispute it, barely have a right to do it. So much can't be proven. I wish we really choosing to teach our students, pursuing disillusion, turning us all to ruin. I wish our court system really would start improving.
Through the valley of the shadow of death, I keep my hands raised high when there ain't nothing left. Try to stay focused on the Lord above. With all the things going on in this world, that's where my help comes from. I wish that the world wasn't corrupt. I wish that we're united, spread love. I wish I know that Jesus is enough. Got my mind on my mission, G.O.D. That's what's up.